Hello, I'm Kemi Madjex and welcome to Holy Soap, where today I'm very excited to say that I'm joined by the executive producer of Neighbours. Everybody, it's Susan Bower. Hello Susan, lovely to have you here. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you, and I'm very happy to be here.
As the executive producer of Neighbours, what do you actually do? Take us through a typical day.
How long have you got?
So you're a very busy lady then.
Neighbours is one of the hardest positions and jobs I've ever had because it's 5 half hours a week we have to produce.
We've had a lot of questions from viewers for you. I'd like to start off with this one from Joey, who would like to know who your favourite characters are, past and present.
Everyone has to say Harold.
I love Harold.
And yes, Harold was a favourite character. Or if we're doing a storyline that is particularly full about that character, then they're my favourite character. But then towards the end of that storyline, I'll say, oh, but what's happening with Dan, or what's happening with Toad, or what's happening with Callum? So they're a family, really, and they're my family, and I'm very happy to be their mum.
We've got another question from Anique, who says that she's very sad that Elle is leaving and she'd like to know if Elle's going to return.
Oh, the door would always be open for Pippa Black.
Right.
Yes, she's been absolutely marvellous. I'm a huge fan of Pippa. Yeah. I think she's a better actress than Nicole Kidman myself, and I think she's as beautiful.
She looks very much like her,
doesn't she? That's why I chose that actress.
Yeah.
And she it has grown enormously in the time that she's been with us, and we're very sad to see her go, but we wish her well because she deserves it. But yes, if she would love to come back, we would love to have her.
Can you tell us anything about the circumstances surrounding her departure?
No.
Anything? You're not giving much away, are you, today?
No, I'm not. My lips are sealed.
A number of viewers feel that the storylines for adults are diminishing a bit. So we've got a couple of examples here. Tracy asks here, can we please get some more storylines for the adults? We seem to be getting constant teen storyline after teen storyline. It's starting to feel like the adults are playing second fiddle to the teens. Do you think the adults have been sidelined a bit?
No,
okay.
I don't. What one must do, and something that I changed, is that if you start a strong storyline, then you take it to its conclusion. What is Neighbours about? What does the title say? It says Neighbours. So it's about a street, and it's about the interaction of the people who live on that street. I find that question interesting. I think if the viewers remain, they will see that the storylines revolve. What about the Libby, Dan, Sam story? That was about adults, and that went on for a very long time. What about when Lucas arrived as Dan's brother and the brothers and the sibling rivalry? That went on for a long time. What about Susan's MS? I can go on. Everybody gets treated equally because that's what Neighbours is about. That's the heart of Neighbours.
Another question here for you. It's from Brianna, who says, I love Neighbours. I watch it 3 times a day. Massive fan. I was wondering whether Dan and Elle, with them leaving, what's going to happen to the relationships between Libby and Dan and Lucas and Elle? They're my favourite couples.
Brett Tucker actually won a green card, an American green card in a lottery. So he's going to take his chance like Pippa Black, in LA. And as an actor, obviously, you want to have a career. And we wish them well. However, the show comes first, so we will do some really big storylines, like huge hang on to your house.
I really feel it for Libby, though, because she's been through the mill, hasn't she? She's, the miscarriage, the hysterectomy, her first husband died, and now she's going to lose Dan.
That's life on Ramsay Street.
Dee says, hi Susan, welcome to the UK. Will there ever be a talent search here in the UK for ordinary folk to win the dream chance of joining the cast of Neighbours, a bit like the Dolly search back home in Oz, I suppose?
Funny you should say that.
Ah.
We are working on something like that.
Right. So could I audition, do you think?
You could. You'd be most welcome.
Edward Howard has this question for you. Ramsay Street has become quite fragmented family-wise. How important do you feel it is for characters to have relations in the street?
That's an interesting question because we have the Ramsays.
Yeah.
The family of orphans who have come in, and they're Paul's nieces and nephews.
That's Katie, Sophie and Harry.
Harry, yes. And Elle came back, or she came into the show. Lucas, the brother of Dan.
Would you agree there's no nuclear family?
What is a nuclear family these days? It's a question that gets up my goat because I think families are families. What makes a family? I am a single parent, and anyone says to me that my children come from a broken home, I break their nose. So, you know, what's a nuclear family? And I think we are contemporary, we are modern.
If you see Susan in the street run, she's dangerous. Neighbours will be celebrating its 25th anniversary next year. Yay!
Yes.
And Shane would like to know what's in the making for the 25th anniversary.
I'm calling it 25 years young, and I'd like to celebrate the future as well as the present. For a start, we will change the titles and we will put a bit of bling on it because it's 25 is a silver anniversary, and we are planning and in process of an hour-long special where we will celebrate the past and the future.
Just that we've never heard about that before.
No, this is an exclusive.
So Harold won't be coming back for the 25th anniversary?
Not in the show.
We know it's going to happen in 2010, but can you tell us a bit more about 2009? We know that Susan Kennedy has decided to go ahead with the surrogacy. Is she going to go full term with the pregnancy?
The surrogacy is a very controversial storyline, and we will use that. The Kennedys are about to go through a very tumultuous time.
Right. What's going to happen in the lives of the Parkers? We've seen the bit where she's had the baby, where Bridget's had the baby, but what happens after that?
There is a really stunning storyline coming up that involves the Parkers.
Right.
And it's nail-biting, and it turns on its head to be shocking.
OK. I know you've done some work with Lily Allen.
Yes.
What was she like to work with?
Lily Allen was fantastic. She asked to be on the show, and we could not have been happier. We are lucky enough to have a radio station in our story, so I decided that she would just come on as Lily Allen.
Did she sing something then?
Yes, she does.
OK. On to something rather more serious now, Susan. We heard about the terrible bushfires that you had back home. Obviously, this would have affected thousands of people. Did this have an impact on the show at all?
It affected us on and off the screen because several of our cast members lived in an area that was being threatened. I remember particularly we were doing a directors' meeting with the director who actually had to fight to save his property, and he had a dreadful cough through the whole meeting, and after the meeting we took him aside and said, look mate, are you all right to continue with work, and you know, do you want to talk about it? And he started talking about the experience and just burst into tears. The cast do a lot of work for charity. Right. Toad is very involved in the Make-A-Wish Starlight Foundation, and we recently had a little girl who has cancer come, and it was a set visit, but when I heard about it we wrote a couple of lines. So she actually had to go to makeup and wardrobe, and she worked with Toad, and that was very special. And we do that a lot. We actually do that a lot, and the cast are very, very open to it. They're very generous of their time, big heart.
Susan, it's been a joy to have you here. It sounds like you're working with some very special people.
Yes, well, they're on Neighbours.
Hopefully we'll get to see you again soon. Thank you very much for coming in. Thank you
very much.
Thank you. If that's left you being hungry for more, why not check out all the latest news and gossip on our weekly Holy Soap Fix right here. Don't forget you can watch Neighbours each weekday at 1:45 and at 5:30 on 5. But if you're home from work a bit late, you can also watch it at 7 on 5. That's all from me. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.